People are looking for you. If you have a lot of quality and you have a lot of dignity, you you will stick out. Stick out in such a manner, they call it three-dimensional. You will be like five-dimensional, right? It's like if you have a picture, someone creates a picture and they can actually make that picture appear like it's coming off from the canvas. That's like a five-dimensional, right? So you basically you put in much more you put in much more emphasis on all the different areas of what the person's looking at, that they think it appears that it's bigger and it's just as much as alive as what is currently going on in their environment. Five-dimensional. You stick out so much, you're vivid. In the avenue of being vivid, people notice people who are vivid. And the kind of people that notice people who are vivid are the ones who are rather boorish. They are, how can I put it? There's a term when they say that when people have the it factor, they can bring it, right? People who notice those people who are vivid will notice them and come up to many different conclusions in their minds. Some people will consider it a threat. Other people will consider it interesting. Some people will be consider it they will be curious about what they see. And some people will place their eyes on you and won't be able to take their eyes off you. And these kinds of people, I call the obsessors. There's the old adage that says the eyes are the windows to the soul. And when people put their attention on you, you will know your vivid reality will begin to become, how can I put it, will become noisy. It will start to be affected. It's like, I don't know if you've seen movies where they show you a mirage, right? And out in the distance, a person's looking and they kind of see the shaking of the sun and everything else. And they're looking and they what they appear is what they see that's appearing is something that they so desire. A mirage, right? Now, when you're vivid, you're not as much as a mirage, but you will got that effect on people. Because the highest place that people would like in general is that they really like to see something out of the ordinary. And when you stick out, you're super ordinary. As a matter of fact, if you are actually highly talented, you will be supernatural. You'll be above natural. The thing is about the obsessors, they've been taught from young that they are deserving and they have the ability to possess, that whatever they own, it's me and mine, and that's it. The aspect of you and your vivid uh, uh, presentation, what's coming from you. And to backtrack a little bit, this doesn't just happen to come from somewhere. This is coming from someone. See, God owns all of this that makes a special person special. The stuff that makes a person special is the stuff that God owns. And that person at some point has entered into a union with the stuff that is coming from God. They may not understand it is from God for the first while, but at some point they will begin to not be knowing of the reality of what's going on with them. That is something different. They'll become very knowing of the person who owns it. Because from God, Him Himself, there's such a high level of classiness and dignity, light. I mean, the level of light they say that comes from God is so powerful that He shimmers like a diamond, even better than diamonds and emeralds. And all these things He makes and creates are examples, are basically protruding from His ability, from what He creates. It basically is Him, right? So when He notices you because as you start walking with His stuff in you, He will notice you more, and He will make it through the varied means of classiness and dignity for you to get to know Him by those means. Okay? The people who will get to know you, and I'm kind of, I guess, going on that avenue, the people who will try to get to know you on the avenue that they're go from curiosity to obsession, I would say a lot of times, but the majority of the times, they would not themselves admit to it, that what they're experiencing with you is something much different, something that's unlike them. And because you're all shiny and you're all new and you're so different, they will want to own you. In the process of owning you, they will do something to you, and this is a concerning thing, is that they hook up. See, the one thing that the Bible says, that when the Antichrist comes, he will basically flatter the multitudes. And it just goes to show how easy it is, because we have so much social media that proves this aspect. We're living in the time of it. He said he'll be able to, through flattery, he will corrupt them. And the one thing about the ones who have the vivid, the 5-dimensional, people would go, okay, the chosen ones, the ones who have allowed a high element of God to basically enter into their existence, their soul, everything else, is that they will become like food to the obsessor. And the obsessor will find a way to flatter you. And this is where you have to grow out of from flattery. The majority of the times that the people who are the most modest and the most unassuming, and the people who are most extremely talented, they have something to bring. The biggest weaknesses they've always had, they always came from families and environments that planted the need for them to be validated. When the truth of the matter, everything that's coming out from them is already validated them. But these obsessors know how to cue into that need that you should not have, but you do have. And they slowly begin to siphon and take what is not theirs. Now, what they really are taking from you is the benefits of the 5-dimensional effect. The 5-dimensional effect is what they're liking. It's like, people go to the sun and enjoy the sunshine and so on and so forth. It's the effect of the sunshine that makes people feel like they do. Not just the sun shining, is the effect of it also. And when you have a positive effect on people who otherwise are drone, boorish, dull, given to low vibration, you bring them up. And it's really interesting, because you would think that in the effect and the effectiveness that you bring to people would cause them to want to go down the road that you have taken. The only problem with that road that they don't like It involves a whole lot of soul searching. It involves a whole lot of God getting in there and dealing with the person of who they really are. And it is really something else that there's only so many people I've probably encountered in my life. And you know them when you meet them. Extremely honest with themselves. Extremely honest, period. You could be in a room with them and you don't ever have to be worried. And if they're in their own in their life force, they know they know that they're not checking your stuff out. They're not checking you out. They're so filled up that they don't need anything. And in light of that, you bring so much safety. The problem with the obsessor is so unsafe, and they present a scenario of making you feel honored when in reality, they are taking away your honor from you. And this is the part that plays a role in the downfall of the ones who are five dimensional, is that they sometimes, because they're so filled with so much fulfillment, they don't see the slow cutting away at their virtues, their manners, their dignity, their worth, their diamond uh, uh, emulation. They don't because they're so still filled. But it is to a great strength for five dimensional people to be very careful who you keep company with, because I really believe corrosive, corrupt people have the ability. It is a powerful ability they have. They have the ability to decay more aggressively than a good person has the power to influence for good. Because influencers who are good are not aggressive, but the ones who are opposite are aggressive. And aggression always will enter in one way or the other. Boundaries, no boundaries, it will find a way in. And it's in there to do only one thing: to take and to take and to take. You all have a good day, and I trust I was inspiring to you that the five dimensional people, they are what the Bible would call the wheat of the earth. All right, the lights of the world. And they don't get their light from anywhere. At some point or another, you have to know that light comes from and is part of the one who said, I am the light. And his name is Jesus Christ. Have a good day. And man, I'd love you to like and subscribe. Thank you.